We were doing shishi susu in our mother's lap. Is it the same body? But we have that illusion that the body is the same. And we are intellectuals. Where from the continuity has come? This continuity is an illusion. See, when there are neon signs, a fan they want to advertise. So they will have the various blades of the fan made out of the neon tubes, and then the current passes in a particular sequence, and when it moves, there is an appearance of the movement of the fan blades. But is it something moving? See, friends, in the same manner, the continuity is that of the absolute reality, and on this absolute reality, these clouds of Mr. Waker are born every time there is a waking experience, and a garland of these flowers is made. When we talk about a garland, here they have never given me a garland. How can I give an example? So, what is a garland? Garland is not a reality. See? In that garland, we take a number of flowers and a thread goes through. Oh, what a beautiful garland. Remove the thread. Where is the garland? Be very attentive. Those flowers are called in Hindi as fools. Replace these fools with every waker. And the thread is this unbroken conscious existence. On this unbroken conscious existence, these flowers of the waker are put together, and an appearance of I am Ahmedabad is born. See, friends, if the flowers are too many in number, 70 flowers, garland will be very long. If the flowers are 50, garland is small. If the flowers are 30, garland is still small. If the flowers are 10, the garland is small for Ganeshji. If there is only one flower, can there be a garland? If we live only today, there is no I. And when there is no I, we are fully available. And when we are fully available, we are fully grown. See? Because now the mind is no more running in the past, no more running in the future, no more excited in the present. That complete availability of ours is called as yoga. The complete availability of ours in the present is called as love. The complete availability of ours in the present is called as God realization. It is called as fulfillment in life. See, friends, therefore, when we have to grow within, means reach your divine core that you are. And as we become more and more integrated, our performance in the outer world starts outwitting our own earlier performance. Then we don't compete with others. Then we are not jealous. See, friends, therefore, to grow within is to allow our infinite potentiality to manifest. And this cannot be theoretically, it has to be our immediate experience. This example I gave you earlier. If you are asked that, Gupta ji, kindly give a talk on Mahatma Gandhi's childhood. When I had to give next Sunday, so I have got how many days? 8 days. Oh yes, I can do it. And then Gupta ji will go to library and take all the books available on Mahatma Gandhi's childhood, prepare notes, prepare a PowerPoint, and come and start giving a lecture. He prepared with a view that I can finish this thing in about 20 minutes. But when he started actually delivering the lecture was over in 5 minutes. Oh God. Gupta ji, there are still 15 minutes left. But now I don't have anything to talk because I have finished all that I have collected. But now you have to talk 15 minutes. You can't go like that. No, but then what will I talk? You talk about your childhood. Okay. The moment you tell him to talk about his childhood for next 10 minutes, you have to call a fire brigade to lift him out. Because when he is talking about his childhood, he has not to prepare. He has experienced that. See, to grow within is to get established in your own divine self. It is not a theoretical thing to be given as a lecture to others. It is your own immediate experience. With that experience, whenever we interact with the world, whether there is a success or there is a failure, they will neither create arrogance nor create guilt in life. See, friends. So when we grow within means when we are in the proximity of our own divine being. Doesn't matter what you are. Man, woman, young, old, educated, overeducated, it makes no difference. What is important is, are we allowing our own integrated personality to surface in and through all our interactions with the world? Therefore, out of the three things that we spoke about, our attention is either on the world, or on the quality of the mind, or on the I. I am doing this thing. So who is this I? Who is doing? In this manner, when we grow within, we grow without also. And what is the real success in the outer world? You know, in the earlier days, management is nothing but gimmicks. Every time they will coin some buzzword, and around that word, all the management gurus come and spend time and earn money. Those days it was in search of excellence. That was the word. Today the word is, don't work hard, work smart. So when the excellence was in vogue, when it was popular word, then the question comes, what is excellence? Excellence is prosperity in the outer world plus peace in the inner world. These two together, simultaneously, when they exist, then it is called as prosperity. See? If only external achievements and luxury is prosperity, America and Europe would have been the happiest countries. But they are the most miserable places. See, they have got all the comforts and they are comfortably miserable. See, they have got all the luxuries, but they are luxuriously disgusting. What is the reason? They have taken care of only one side, ignoring the other aspect of our life. Life is not only outside, life is both outside and inside. See, friends, therefore, when we grow within, we are at peace with ourselves. And when we are at peace with ourselves, we will definitely act perfectly as required in the outer world. If we are not at peace with ourselves, we don't interact with the world, we don't respond to the world, we react to the world. And whenever we react, we go wrong. Reactions are the abnormalities of mind. Response is a controlled reaction. And when we are living as an expression of inner poise, then that is the beauty of life. See? Now, is it not so obvious? Don't we appreciate somebody if he or she is cool, never getting angry, at peace, never getting disturbed? We like such a person. When somebody has this quality, we like him. What a joy it will be if we have those qualities. But we like. I am a smuggler. This is just an example. Oh, I am a smuggler. But I want a CA, an accountant, who is very honest. And then I introduce my other smuggler bandhus. See? अमीन भाई, ये अपना अकाउंटेंट है ना, एकदम पक्का आदमी है. You can trust him. So, the sincerity in others, the loyalty in others we appreciate. But when it comes to us, no, chalta hai. See, friends. So, as regards our appreciation for the good qualities is there, but we want to see good qualities in others. As regards we are concerned, konyosti sadrusho maya, mere jaisa kon hai, I am always perfect. See, friends, therefore, growing within is maintaining our equipoise under all conditions, and it will not happen by accident. Although health is natural and disease is not natural, yet health we have to maintain. Diseases come without effort. In the same manner, we have to maintain our inner poise. Reactions will come natural. There is nothing great about it. And when this balance is understood, that our inner poise is directly responsible for our outer progress. This balance is what we are calling about reaching the goal of our life. What is the goal of our life? Goal of our life is attainment of fulfillment. We are all seeking fulfillment. Alas, we mistake the fulfillment with the fulfilling our desires. This point I told you last time, if you remember. Fulfilling desires is not equal to fulfillment in life. These are two different things. But our whole life, what we have done is only this. Fulfilling the desires, one after another, one after another. See? When this topic comes, one young man in Bombay, he asked me this question. Swamiji, because of you people talking like this, India is not progressing. I said, what happened? Who listens to me first of all? He said, no, unless there is a desire, who will work? I said, hey, you are very intelligent. Then I asked him, you have been living all your life under the desire pressure, is it not? Of course. Unless I had a desire to get good marks, I did not work. Unless I had a desire to get good job, I did not get. So desire is a driving force. And you say, give up all the desires. I said, okay. Now in your life, whole life you lived only for fulfilling your desires, is it not? Yes. Have you come to a point where you have come to understand, now I have fulfilled my desires, nothing more? Like when you take food, whatever glutton you may be, a stage comes, ab nahi. No. Ek Shrikhanda ka katora le hi lo. No, I cannot. If I eat, I will die. So when we take food, we come to a point wherein we reject. In the same manner, Have you come to a point wherein you want no more desires to be fulfilled? No. Still you want more, more, more. Now take another example. All the great masters who lived in this world, did they live for fulfilling their desires? Yet, the outcome, the output that they have presented to the world is far more than what we have achieved through fulfilling our desires. Now, what is the basic difference between the two? We have lived under desire pressure, and the wise men of the world, they were beyond the desire pressure, yet they worked under the umbrella of inspiration. Inspired performance is always superior than the desire-prompted achievements in life. See? And what do we desire? According to our inabilities. See? One day one beggar came somewhere and Babaji, kuch de do, kuch de do. So I was sitting with my friend. I said, hey, let's play with this fellow. Time pass karna hai till the red light goes. Yes. How much you want? Babaji, 8 आने दे दो. So I took 8 आने from my friend. Go. So when this fellow has gone, others were watching. Again, another fellow. Babaji, कुछ दे दो. How much you want? 2 रुपए दे दो. So every person has kept a tag on himself. See? Whenever we fulfill our desires, we have limited our potentiality and our area of expansion. On the contrary, when you are inspired, and what is that inspired performance? There are some people, even in Europe you come across these people, on the roadside. This time when I was in Geneva, I saw that along the lake, there was one person, he was playing some flute and all that, and all other people standing around, clapping and all that. And after his one song, everything is over, then people will throw money. He didn't ask. And then, once I was in some other place, and like that he was doing. So after that was done, I said, hey, may I take your picture? Yes. So I became friendly with that beggar. He had a dog also. So government UK gives dog allowance also. Very prosperous country. So I was talking to him. I said, hey, how much you get? He said, I don't know, sometime I get 30, 40, 50 pounds, sometime I get 20, sometime I get 100. I said, you don't ask? He said, no, I don't ask. What do people give? See? As a result, he is always at peace. He is not doing, unless I get this much, I will work. No. Whenever you work with inspiration, it doesn't matter what comes to you. A person who works under inspiration finds fulfillment in action and not from action. A person who has discovered happiness in action, he can never be miserable in life. We all act only in the present. And in action, if we discover happiness, we are happy in the present. We can never live in the past or the future, but we always live only in the present. In short, whatever you are doing, if that action is an expression of your inner bliss, your inner joy, you have attained fulfillment in your life. This is a perfect balance between the inner growth and the outer achievement. See? Otherwise, we come across so many people. They have got everything what God has not given them. See? I was talking to Niruben today. I said there are two types of problems in this world. The problems of having and the problems of not having. Example, if you don't have a child, you have a problem. Okay. Those who have a child, those who don't have money, they have a problem. स्वामी जी बच्चे का स्कूल में फीस भरना है, कुछ नहीं, क्या करे पता नहीं, समझ में आ रहा. Those who have got money, they have got a problem. How to save from the income tax. See? Those who don't have a wife because they are not yet married, all the time, shadi.com. And those who are married, पता नहीं मैंने किस मुहूर्त पर सोचा. See? There are two types of problems. होने का and नहीं होने का. Because we don't have, we suffer. Because we have, we suffer. See, friends, let us get out of this imbalance. And if we have really grown within, the inner growth is directly proportionate to the equipoise. This is the only message Bhagavad Gita gives. Whether you talk of karma, or yoga, or devotion, or knowledge, in all of them, this is the principle. Karma yoga, siddhi asiddhiyoho, samo bhutva, yogaha karmasu kaushalam, or samatvam yoga uchyate. So when we do something, yes, we may succeed, we may not. But because of the success or absence of success, the equipoise is not disturbed. That is called as the fulfillment in karma. Then in devotion, tulya ninda stutir mauni santushtaha yena kenachit. He who is tulya, undisturbed, whether somebody gives you an ovation or somebody condemns you, the master is at peace with himself because the equipoise is not dependent on the external certification. See? There was a lot of rush outside. So one person came from IIM like that. Swamiji, today we are having award giving ceremony to the teachers, That's why there is so much of crowd and all that. I said, you are not giving me award, I will also come. No, Swamiji, actually it is for small teachers. You are a big one. I said, dil behlane ke liye Galib khayal acha hai. See? So, devotion also, whether you are honored or not honored, it makes no difference to the devotee because he has already surrendered at the feet of the Lord. Then comes your yoga. See, in yoga what the teacher says, Atmaupamena sarvatra samam. Samam is equipoise. Samam pashyati Arjuna sukham vajariva dukkham sa yogi paramo mataha. He who is equanimous under all conditions and treats everybody as he treats himself, he is called as a yogi. And when it comes to knowledge, there it is natural. Because in knowledge, kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Be very attentive. When the same one mind expresses through the eyes becomes vision, through the ears becomes hearing ability, through the nose when the mind comes out, it is called as poking ability. We poke our nose, isn't it? Pokeability. Now for the mind, will there be any biasness towards any sense organ? For the mind, it is the same. Second point. Will the senses fight among each other? I am superior and you are not superior. No. When we are at the senses level, there are differences. One flower, there are 5 ways of perception. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. So one flower is seen or experienced 5 ways. But what is the experience? We have experienced one flower. So, in between are our 5 senses. This side there is one flower, this side there is one mind. So, one mind is seeing the one flower 5 different ways because there are 5 sense organs. So, is the division real? It is only because of the gadgets in between. Now, if you go one step further, he who is abiding in this conscious reality, the ultimate self, then he comes to know, like one mind alone, depending upon the instrument, appears to have become 5, in the same manner, one consciousness, depending upon the body through which it is expressing as mind, the same consciousness has become man, woman, ghoda, gada. He who is living as conscious existence, for him all the differences on account of the different bodies and conditionings, they dissolve. Therefore, the man of wisdom, abiding in this knowledge, he does not have to put efforts to love anybody. What effort we put to love ourselves? See? Therefore, this equanimity born out of knowledge is the ultimate one, because it is the foundation. In this manner, when we grow within, our vision changes. When our vision changes, our perceptions change. When our perceptions change, our interactions change. And when our interactions change, our experiences change. When our experiences change, the quality of our life changes. When the quality of life is improved, what is that quality of life? Peace within and peace without. See, friends, living in this peaceful disposition 24/7 is the ultimate achievement as a human being. See, today somebody came, we were talking about Swami Akhandanji Maharaj, and I was telling them, I said many years before, when I was young, and there was an infection of spirituality. So when you are infected by the spirituality virus, you start doing all acrobatics. I was also doing that. These are the pangs of delivery you have to go through. So that time, God realization, I should see the God, and then God should come over here and then do like this, and then get a headache, then go to the doctor. Doctor Sahab, there's too much of headache, I don't know, and then put this drop. Every kind of funny things. Not taking food. Why? Tapasya. And when you don't take food, you think about food. So instead of food going in the stomach, it is accumulated in the head. This thing we don't understand initially. So, in that mode of my life, when I was very much mad, I want to see Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And I happened to be with Maharajji, and it was a Marwadi crowd. Marwadi crowd means most indisciplined crowd. So Maharajji was sitting there. We only took him because he was very old. He had cataract also. So he sat. And he told other Swamiji, kindly keep my clothes properly, because people will think that I am a dumb, okay? because he was not able to see because of cataract. So we put him like a Ganeshji on the dais. He sat there. And then, as I told you, Marwadi crowd, somebody will come, put mala around his neck, somebody will come, put a full stop, somebody will put a railway line, somebody come and give one flower, so like that. And this is satsang going on. I was getting so disgusted of what kind of people these are. But I couldn't do nothing. I keep quiet. What else can I do? And when this mess was going on, one person got up. महाराज श्री, अब हम आपके लिए प्रश्न पढ़ेंगे, आप उसका उत्तर दीजिए. And का poultry farm was going on. And he read not one question but a question paper. One after. पहला प्रश्न, दूसरा प्रश्न, तीसरा प्रश्न. As if at the end, all questions carry no mark, you have to reply all the ones. And when all that was over, I was so agitated. Maharaj Shri was absolutely cool. And he restated the whole questions in one paragraph and said, this is what you want to ask, is it not? And his restatement included the answer. Such a chaos around. Nothing disturbed him. That day I told Krishna, sorry, I don't want to look at you. If I want something to be achieved in life, like this, let nothing in this world disturb us. That doesn't mean we are all the time sleepy. See? Because when we are all the time sleepy, we disturb the world. Krrr, krrr, krrr. See, this inner growth is this perfect equanimity. And for that only you have to learn from your own experiences. Many times it happens, two persons are talking. If we are not required, why not we keep our mouth shut? Two persons are talking, we go there. हाँ, किसके बारे में? कहाँ? Shut up. Are you required to know everything in this world? See? It is so important. Where we are not required to participate, let us keep our mouth shut. Being Indians, we are expert in somebody else's job. Not our own job. Being Indians, we are born advisors. Being Indians, we take decision for others. And our decision is, इसकी शादी करा दो. Then what will happen? He will come to the line. Pray. Therefore, growing within is living with this equanimity, and this equanimity is brought out under four heads through karma. The success and failure should not disturb our equanimity. Through devotion, a devotee does not have any vote for anybody in this world. सब कुछ ठीक है, भगवान की इच्छा से हो रहा है. Equanimity remains. For a yogi, his attention is not on the world, his attention is on the mind. And for a jnani, he is abiding in this one conscious existence which alone is supporting the total world of relative existence. In this manner, to grow within is to attain this equanimity under all conditions. Thereafter, what we have outside is not important. See, you come across people who are very poor and very miserable, very poor and very happy. As well as there are people who are very rich and very miserable, very rich and very happy. It doesn't matter whether you have something or you don't have. More than what we have, what is important is how we are with what we have. See, Therefore, to grow within is the only way to grow without. And I tell you, friends, up to a particular limit, money can attract you. Money cannot attract you all the time. After the hunger for the money is satiated, then we have got the second thing, power. And after that power becomes, a corruption factor, then we want our name. So when we want our name, let there be statues everywhere. But Amma, you are still alive, so what? This is in anticipation of my death. Because I am going to die one day. So before I die, I must keep myself everywhere. And then one day, somebody will bombard, and like, Saddam Hussein's, statues were uprooted. Stalin's statues were thrown away. See, this is how we get corrupted by our wrong thinking. Therefore, to grow within is to abide in the divine self that we are and let that express in the outer world. That is the real success in life. One day, somewhere in management, I was playing one game. I said, 4 persons who are ready to die, come forward. All of them were with necktie brand, Nobody was. I said, hey, come on, it is just a game, not real. Okay, I'll tell you who will be the volunteers. 1, 2, 3, 4, you are volunteers. Volunteers are never told, but they didn't understand the joke, thank God. Volunteers come on their own. So, I said, now 4 of you go outside. I'll call you one by one to die. And when you come, you just lie down as if you are dead. So, they went, and then I briefed the other people. I said, when one person dies, you have to talk something about him. 1 sentence, 2 sentences, and more. And thereafter, you close your eyes, that dead man will go out. And this dead man will not meet the other dead people. That was the game. So one after another came. And then they were not allowed to meet afterwards also. Then I asked them, come together. What did you expect to hear about you from the people who were alive around you? What did you expect? So first person said, I expected that they will say that he was a nice person, he was a loving father, he was a very responsible society member, and he has helped many people. It's very good. Go and stand in that corner. The second person came. Then he was asked the same question. He was not knowing what this person talked. Second person. He said almost the same thing. How good I am, this is what the people may talk about me after I die. And when our experiment was over, I said, look here, what we all want necessarily is only this. We want somebody to speak good about us. And their goodness is not money. Goodness is the quality of our life. And the quality of our life can be the best if equanimity is maintained under all conditions. See, samatvam yoga uchyate. And when we take the principle of samatva, equanimity, then we live life as a time pass. And whenever you do anything as a time pass, you are never serious. See? And living in that light mode all through your life is the real achievement in life. Therefore, we grow within, then only we can grow without. And to grow within, what we require is inspiration. There are 2 words we have taken here, inspiration and over-enthusiasm. Most of the seekers who step on the spiritual path, they have over-enthusiasm. They are not inspired. Over-enthusiasm is like the spiritual virus. It comes as an attack. I had decided now. May what happened? I am going to get up in the morning, 4 o'clock, start meditation. I will not eat onion, garlic, and no non-veg, no nothing. I'll eat only the boiled one. Why? Spirituality. See? And his spiritual hysteria remains only for a day or two. And thereafter, kuch nahi hua yaar, chodo, again come back with the vengeance. See? This is over-enthusiasm. When you are inspired, you don't copy anybody. Be yourself. Bring out the best in you. Inspiration originates from the consciousness. Over-enthusiasm is an abnormality of matter. These two principles, whether we are inspired or we are only over-enthusiastic, this we have to discriminate. If we are inspired, we are steady. The other day in Wales, I was going for a walk on the hill with my friend. And when we were going, there were big mushrooms came. Very nice. Sanjay, do you eat mushrooms? I said, yes, I eat mushrooms. Should we pick up? I said, are they poisonous? No, I have got all the knowledge, they are not poisonous. So I said, before you take up, how many you want to take? 3, 4 will be enough for us. I said, okay. That one? No. I said, if I do some experiment, will you agree? No problem, do that. I said, if I climb on this oak tree, will the oak tree fall down? No. Now I stand on the mushroom. I stood on that. What happened? It is destroyed. See? Inspiration is like an oak tree. It grows slowly and steadily. Or enthusiasm is like a mushroom. Overnight it comes out. Yesterday it was not there. This morning you see it comes out. And suddenly we become spiritually hysteric. And then we start doing and again come back to square one. Therefore, let us be steady in winning the game of life. Not hurry-burry. In this manner, let our enthusiasm be controlled. Controlled, disciplined enthusiasm is inspiration. And when inspiration is not controlled, not steady, it is hysteria. So these 2 points when we understand, then we grow within and grow without. Rest of the things maybe tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. When we talk about quality for higher gains, the question comes, whose quality? Is it the quality of the product that we are marketing? Or is it the quality of our life that we are living? Or what quality? We all know the real achievements in this world are possible when we are functioning under the influence of inspiration and not working with the perspiration. When we are working to get something out of our action, that is working for perspiration. I have done so much. This is how all our government servants and the people what they want? Less work and more pay. So first of all, 7 days a week. Then it became 6 days a week. Then it became 5 days a week. Now continue. How far it can go? So it will go up to what? Up to 0 days a week working, and every working day a salary day. See? Beyond that you cannot go. And therefore, the basic thing we have to understand and remember, real achievement is possible not when we are working under the load of desires to achieve something in this world, but when we are functioning under the influence of inspiration. Now, why we are not able to appreciate this? This morning also one girl asked me this question. Swamiji, you say don't work with the desire, but without desire, how can we work? So let us understand this. When we are working under desire, the impetus, the force that motivates us to do something is directly proportionate to your imagination of desire. See, one person has a desire that if I get 1 bedroom flat and a nice wife and 2 sweet children and a nice car, I will be happy. So his desire is only a limited one. From a limited desire, you cannot get unlimited bliss. See how important it is. One day I was traveling between Delhi and Bombay many years before. That time I was young. And I was seated in between 2 atom bombs. On my left side near the window, there was one overflowing Sindhi seated in a chair. Those days, those AC cars have recently started between Delhi and Bombay. Rajdhani Express. So I was sandwiched on the 3-seat side. Left side, a huge Sindhi overflowing. And therefore, I can't even go towards this side. And this side, there was one young girl going to Bombay from Delhi for something. And in between, a brahmachari was sitting. A good news for the public. See? So whole night I was in utter awareness. You can't sleep. So you sleep and you say, oh, he has done something and all that, And people want mirch masala. Who wants a news, the train started and reached safely? Who wants that? And in the morning when I went for bathroom, excuse me, I came back. Oh, it's okay, please sit down, I said. And then, thank you very much. So she thought, oh, this fellow talks English also. Then she said, by the way, where are you going? I said, I don't go anywhere by the way. I go the right way. You talk sense. I said, do you think I have nonsense or what? And slowly, the eyes thawed. Naturally, I have to ask, where are you going? What do you do? Then I said, you are going there for some job. She was an engineering student. What exactly you are wanting? Yes, I'll tell you. I have a dream. I will have a nice house near the sea and a sweet husband, 2 cute kids, a nice car, lot of money. Aha! I said, this dream is dreamed by every foolish girl. See, first of all, there is nothing like a sweet husband. Yes, husband is there. Husband can never be sweet, it may be only bitter. See? And cute kids, they will eat your head. Then you will understand how cute they are. Then I ask her, you are trying to get something great out of your life, which is impossible. How? Now, do you want happiness after you get married or now? Of course, now. Very good. Do you want that happiness in your life after you reach Bombay or now? Now. Do you want happiness here in this very train while we are seated or after getting out of the train? Now. Do you want happiness with lots of efforts or effortless happiness? Effortless, of course. Do you want happiness which will last only momentarily or it should last all the time? Yes, all the time. And what you are seeking from that and those who are temporarily, momentarily available in this world. Therefore, your search is wrong. With a wrong search, you cannot get the right discovery. Our struggle is like an old lady. One youngster went for the second show. After 12:30 or so, he was coming home and he saw below the electric post, there was one old lady. She was searching something. And this young fellow must have seen something in the movie. He thought, let me help the society. So he went. Yes, Amma, what can I do? What are you searching? My dear child, I have lost my needle. I was stitching something and I lost it. So I am searching. Okay, I will see it for you. And he started searching. Nowhere found. Then, but I am not seeing this. I am also not seeing. Therefore, I am struggling. But by the way, where did you lose the needle? In my home. Then why do you see here? In home there is no light. Here there is a lot of light. Therefore, I search here. See, we laugh at her foolishness. Are we better than that? We are seeking happiness, but we are searching objects. Because this wrong notion that the objects are the containers of happiness. No. Like, if any one of us take coffee or tea, everybody will get caffeine because these are the contents of coffee or the tea. But everybody doesn't get happiness. A person who is only tea fan, you give him coffee, he doesn't like. So where from the happiness comes? See, friends. Therefore, when we talk about the quality gain, the quality is not in the objects. The quality is of your life. What is the quality of your life? See? How much we can accumulate wealth and all that. You know that famous story of Alexander the Great? Before he died, he got a message that his mother is very ill. So he was going back. And on the way he fell ill. So he was wanting to sort out everything. So he told his generals, kindly do the three things. Number one, when I die, let those doctors who are treating me carry my coffin into the grave. Okay, sir. Then all the wealth that I have earned by looting the world, let that be spread on the path leading to my grave. And third, keep my both hands out of the coffin open. Yes, sir, it will be done. Then they say, but why you want such a peculiar type of desires to be fulfilled? Nobody asks like that. Why you want like that? So, he said, look here, let the world know, no doctor can save your life, except the doctors here. I have to still continue.